I'm maybe like an hour out of what was definitely one of the hardest tests that I've had to take at the Korean Language Institute. And these are just some really raw emotions and thoughts that I'm feeling right now that I think could potentially help some people when they're making decisions on whether or not they want to come and study in Korea or study at the Korean Language Institute. And, you know, before I even get started, I want to say that I do not regret my decision to come out here. I have learned so much about myself it sounds so cheesy, but I've learned so much about myself in this process. I've learned so much. This is still an amazing experience, and I'm going to see it through. But it's not all fun and games. It's really a frustrating process. Now, to have this make 100% sense, you might want to listen. I'm like frustrated and annoyed, and I'm about to do something frustrating and annoying. But you might want to check out my video, or do some research about what the Korean Language Institute is like and what the TOPIK test is like. The TOPIK is the test of proficiency in Korean. So essentially, what you do out here in the Korean Language Institute is, yes, learn Korean, but also learn how to take and pass the test of proficiency in Korean, or the TOPIK test. So currently I am studying in level 5. The highest level that you can go to is level 6. Now, that is not a very accurate representation of where my Korean is at. I'm about 1.5 years into studying Korean out here, and this is my second time taking level 5. I've taken 4 twice, I've taken 5 now twice. And level 5 is very intensive. It's always been intensive, and level 5 is far more intensive than any other level in the Korean Language Institute. Level 6, from what I have heard, is not as intense as level 5. The jump from level 4 to level 5 is so intense that I honestly leave every day feeling exhausted. And even though I do the homework, and even though I show up, I'll be totally 100% open and honest and tell you that on my quiz that I did yesterday and got back today, I got a 54%. I can feel myself like choking up because it hurts so much to admit something like that. That is part of the process of learning a language, is that you take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's not an easy thing to do, especially when it's what you do every day. It really hurt to see that test score. And I've gotten low test scores before, but I've never gotten a test score that low. Ultimately, there's a lot more that I can do and want to do in my own study practice. A lot of it stems from the difficulty of just learning another language, especially a language that, as an American English speaker, I have no basis in. I have no foundation in Korean. I have no knowledge of Chinese characters, or Hanja, or if to the Japanese speakers out there, kanji. I am learning this language from the ground up. And so to the people who are going to be coming out here to learn Korean, to the people who want to intensely study Korean, I want to tell you that the experience is so worth it. It is so amazing. It really opens your eyes to the Korean culture. Language and culture just are so one and the same, that it's amazing. It's so much fun to do every day, but the process, it's really frustrating. It is so frustrating. There's a lot of frustration that I'm feeling towards my school right now as well. In particular, one of my teachers. That's going to be a story time for a little bit later. But I am currently in the process of looking into potentially moving to another Korean language institute. They're a dime a dozen. I just wanted to put that out there really quickly. Maybe maybe there's someone else out there who just needs to hear something. I hear so much stuff about, oh, it's so much fun coming out and learning Korean in Korea is just, oh, it's just roses and daffodils and puppies and roundabouts, and it's not that all the time. You need to put in the work, and that is something that I am currently learning the hard way. Learn from me, learn from my mistakes. But anyway, I just really wanted to quickly put that out there. That's it, and I hope this helps. I would love study advice. I would love just maybe some advice in general from anyone. What kind of study tips do you use? How do you study? And how are you studying foreign languages in particular? Because they require a whole different approach than studying math or studying history. Language is like a living, breathing thing. Yeah, requires an entirely different approach. Anyway, everyone, I hope that you're having a really great new year. I am sending you all my well wishes, and I'm gonna go drink some coffee, maybe have a good cry, and